And we are live. I'm here with Jack Grant. Jack, I'm so delighted to speak to you ahead of your Cage Warriors title fight.
Oh, thank you.
It's going to be a good one. You're facing Aggie Sadari. I don't know that much about him. I don't know much about the promotions that he's fought on. I've only found what I've been able to find on YouTube. What do you know about him?
Well, there was one pretty good fight of him, but I believe he's took it down. I had a little watch.
He doesn't want you watching it.
Yeah, well, I presume he's took it down because it's gone, and that was kind of the one I was going off because he beat I think he was like a Chinese or Japanese opponent, but quite a decent opponent with a big record, and I just thought I'll just study that fight. I'm not really too bothered. I only like to watch like the first part of each round anyway, but yeah, I've seen it anyway, but it disappeared, so I presumed he didn't want me watching it.
What's the thinking behind only watching the first bit of each round?
I just like to know how they enter, whether they enter in a real wild manner, whether they shoot, whether they're like quite patient and play a bit of a waiting game. That's all I'm interested in, because it don't really matter what they're going to do. Like every single fight I have, I'm just going to do whatever I'm good at. You know what I mean? That is what I train to do, and that is what I'll try to do every single time. So it's kind of irrelevant to what they're going to do, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And I guess, you know, especially at the moment where so much is changing with fights, you're never 100% sure if that will be your opponent, like that you start off with is the one that you'll end up in the cage with. So you can't spend too much time focusing on what they're going to do.
No, hopefully you don't have COVID.
I was going to come on to that later, but now that you mentioned it, obviously the last trilogy, you were lucky enough to be able to get to fight, and you put on one of the, you know, the biggest and best performances of the whole trilogy, and really made a massive statement. But there were obviously quite a few brilliant fights that fell off the cards due to COVID. It's just something else to contend with, isn't it? And it just mentally must be such a headache.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like I know some of these guys weren't really poorly, and it's probably pretty stupid of me, but that's just the way I am. Like, I'd happily fight someone with COVID, or if they had COVID, like I'm fine with that. Like, I'd sign a waiver, and I'd be happy to do that. So,
Jack, that's why fighters aren't in charge of the rules. We know you guys would fight anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, to me, like COVID, I'm not too sure on it. I think I'd be fine. I'm from Grimsby, where I'm from. COVID's just a walk in the park.
I just hate to see people who've put so much into camp, and you know, especially this year where there's been so few fights actually going ahead. I would hate for anyone's to fall off this time, but obviously it's a real thing. We had 3 fights in UFC last night fall off.
Safety first, I guess, but it's whatever, you know. Like, we're about to smack each other in the face, so I don't think it gets any more dangerous than that, in my opinion. But whatever.
Well, fingers crossed. I wish everybody on all of the cards a full bill of health. We want to see what damage you can do to people in the cage, and you know, and the fights that you can put on. So fingers crossed they all go ahead, and that's the last we'll say about that. But I wanted to go back to the fact that this is your second title fight. It's taken 18 months to get back to this point, and what that means to you, and you know, just what you learned from last time around.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's just a fight to me. Like, I'm just looking at it a little bit different this time. I'm not quite putting it on this big pedestal. Like, at the end of the day, regardless to whether there's a belt or not, I always want to win anyway. Like you say, fighters will do anything to fight, and I'd fight him anyway. So if he wants to try and beat me, you know, he needs to be able to bring it, because all I constantly think about is looking to finish him and beat him, and just I'm just going in there. It's just a fight. It's just a fight. I'm not looking past this fight. I'm not looking at the future or like that. Like loads of people like, oh, what about the UFC and all that? Like,
Yeah.
that don't matter. That like does not matter. Like right now, like just win this fight. That's all I've got to do. So yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to.
I think people always bring it up just because Cage Warriors has got that proven track record of champions getting to the UFC.
Yeah.
So it's obviously always, a question that people bring up, and not many people are in Cage Warriors for the money. So most people are using it as a stepping stone
yeah.
to the UFC. But I totally get, and I saw in another interview you did that you're just not even thinking about that right now, which I think is smart, and the only way to deal with the fight in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. Like just the task at hand, that's all that matters. That's all that ever really matters. Like whether I'm in Cage Warriors, UFC, any other organization, like the only task is ever to win anyway. So I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm just gonna go in there and fight. I'm more than ready. I'm like super confident in my preparation. I've been down at Four Corners. I've lived in the gym, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm at them gates. I just want to like rip now, and go.
And what has training at Four Corners been like this time? Because this is the first time you've done a camp there, isn't it?
Yeah, first time I've done a camp there, so I was a little bit unsure, as in like it can often take a while to get to know coaches and all this, but I feel like I've instantly bonded with John, the head coach, and just all the team in general. Like even my dorm mates, everyone. It's just like one big family. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I can't believe how quick I've clicked.
Oh, that's brilliant. So have you been training throughout the whole of the kind of COVID times, shall we say?
Well, early on, I'm not gonna lie, like the very first lockdown, like I wasn't doing any of that running and all that crap. Like I'm not doing donkey work for nothing. I was really unsure on like everything, wondering if I'd even get fights and whatnot. So I just ate.
I love that.
Yeah, but whilst I've been at Four Corners, I've been probably training 3 times a day. I'm straight back in the dorms. I'm resting. It's probably the best I've ever rested, which is super important. And yeah, like I say, training 3 times a day. I'm more than ready now. It's like just eagerly anticipating to get the fight done. Like
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I know how much I'm looking forward to it. So I can't even imagine how you feel right now.
Well, I did ask, I said to my manager, I just said to ask Ian Dean, I want the best opponent. I did name actual fighters on Cage Warriors card, but Ian Dean, such a good matchmaker, and he's found someone. So he obviously sees something in that guy. So I need to respect that. And yeah, I did. I asked for the best opponent he can find, and that's what he's thrown at me. So of course I just said yeah, and I'm ready to go.
And you totally deserve the best opponent, and you totally deserve the title shot. Especially your last fight was incredible and such a statement. How did it feel for you to get back there with such a bang and to finish him with like such a cool move?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I felt great. I felt really confident that I'd win that fight. But again, a bit of an unknown entity, like somebody debuting on Cage Warriors with some hype, and like I'm fed up of fighting these guys that have got like loads to gain. And then if I beat them, maybe not so much to gain.
Yeah.
It's like, so that's why I said this time, I was like, no, I want someone with a big record. I actually mentioned Donovan Desme.
Yeah.
I feel like he deserved the shot. This guy is only there because of me, this other guy. Like, yeah, I said it, get me the best opponent. That's the one that threw there, and that's the one I signed the contract for. But I did make the offer for people I thought deserved it more. But Hey, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not moaning. All I care about is that belt.
No, it's good for people to hear that, you know, like you're willing to fight anyone, and you know, you did call out these big names, and the guy that you're fighting is high up on the European ranking, so
Yeah.
he's obviously there for a reason. Just because we haven't seen him in Cage Warriors before, it'd be very unlike Cage Warriors to, you know, to give you someone that wasn't a good match. Like you say, Ian Dean just gets it right so often.
Yeah. Ian Dean's phenomenal at what he does. I really respect the guy, and he's a really nice guy as well. Like I really like him. I think it's probably not a common thing to to like your boss or whatever, but it's sound like him Graham. I like all the staff at Cage Warriors, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to the fight.
Tell me what being on the last trilogy was like, because it was obviously such a unique experience for fans. Like 3 shows in 3 nights. Obviously, you was only taking part in one of them, but it
Yeah.
was just the fact that it was behind closed doors, and just the whole way that you had to be there on fight week and stuff. What was it like?
Yeah, really weird. A strange process, but again, like I'm in this for the experiences as well. Like I always hope that fighting will give me lots of good and odd experiences, and hopefully get to travel a lot from it and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just all down for the processes. Like it's this is what it's about, isn't it? It's about coming out your comfort zone and experiencing different things, and it was good. It was weird with no crowd, but it was good.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, I was going to say, do like a lot of people really like to be able to hear their corner more, but find it, you know, obviously not the same buzz without the
Yeah,
crowd there.
yeah, it's strange. You can hear their corner a lot more as well, which is a little bit odd. You can hear like the creaking on the canvas when you first step in a lot more than usual. Just like different little things that you'd probably not think about before, but. One thing it did make me realise is how much I actually do love the crowd. That's something it taught me last outing. I definitely feed from the crowd. I definitely get energy from the crowd, and I can't wait for it to be back to normal. But for now, it's just is what it is, and as long as I'm fighting, I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to say, I just cannot wait for next weekend. And you're also a gym owner as well. So what has that been like, going through a pandemic with a gym that you can't open or whatever?
Yeah, so I own Grant Combat Academy in Grimsby, the best.
Of
Because
course.
I'm the best. Yeah, no. Yeah, I own Grant Combat Academy, and obviously COVID's took its toll. But it is what it is. I've got a lot of loyal members. I've got a lot of loyal support in my gym, and yeah, when we return to like like a more relaxed way of life, like I can't wait to get it going again, because as far as competing goes and jiu-jitsu and all that, we've never had a team like this in Grimsby. I'm one of the originals for like jiu-jitsu in Grimsby, in my opinion. I'm one of the first to go out and chase it. I'm really passionate, and I've definitely competed at the highest level the most, and also won at the highest level for someone that only really dabbles in jiu-jitsu, so to speak, because I'm having
Doubles.
to learn everything. You know what I mean? That like if I studied pure jiu-jitsu, I think I'd be a world beater, because I'd just literally train it 3 times a day. But I've got to learn other things too, so I've got to spread my time.
Oh my God, that's scary to think that is you dabbling in
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu.
like I'm not even training jiu-jitsu every day. So in fact, when I fought John Maguire, I didn't even
One
train
of my
jiu-jitsu.
coaches.
Yeah, I didn't even train jiu-jitsu. Like I think I was training like twice a week. I mean, obviously I've got jiu-jitsu and I've got skill, but I was training like twice a week. I was actually Nick Emma's doing kickboxing for a grappling match. So, it's just something I'm passionate about, and I feel like I'm really good at learning jiu-jitsu.
Actually, looking at the fights of Sadaris that I could find, he seems to go to the ground a lot. So I think we could be maybe seeing some of your ground game in this fight. What do you reckon to that?
Yeah, I think I actually believe he's going to try stand with me. But if he gets to the ground, I believe I've got his number as well. I actually think on the ground he's a little bit different to me. I feel like he brings more wrestling to the ground rather than jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like if he looks to transition and play like a pure kind of jiu-jitsu game, I think I'll really shock him, and I think I'll submit him. But I just think I'm better everywhere. I think I honestly think I can win this fight anywhere. So it's for him to come and debut and put on a spectacular performance, because you're gonna need one, mate.
Fight and talk, I love it.
Yeah.
And are you an MMA fan outside of training yourself? Are you excited about any of the other fights on this Cage Warriors card?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing another local guy, Madders. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Really nice guy, and obviously you've always got to support your own, and he's one of ours. So yeah, hopefully 2 wins coming to Grimsby, and yeah, there's lots of good fights. I was looking forward to seeing my teammate Justin on, but unfortunately he's had to be pulled.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate because he's an absolute world beater, and then there's obviously Kev Mullen, absolute world beater. Like, people are going to get a shock when these guys start getting active.
So with Justin, that was the situation where he was still contracted to Bellator and thought that he'd be
COVID, right? So
yeah.
It was actually COVID that has extended his contract, which is super unfortunate. But yeah, Justin Barlow, absolute beast. It's been a great training partner for me in this camp, and yeah, I appreciate him and Kev Mullen because they're the guys that I've been living with. Eric De Silva and also Sam. Like these guys have helped me every single day.
I've actually interviewed Justin before, and it was for the fight that he was going to have on Pro Bellum. So he's had
an unfortunate run,
a real roller coaster every year. So that was when he was supposed to fight on Pro Bellum against Conrad. Then Conrad was out of the fight. He had a replacement. Then the card was off. Then he was fighting Bobby Pallett in Bellator, and then was it Justin or one of his cornermen that tested positive for COVID?
I think it was his cornerman. Yeah, I think it was his cornerman, but super unfortunate because
and then to think that he's fighting on this and then have that taken away. I'm thinking of you, Justin.
It's weird. Like, I look at him and I just think he's like older than he is, but he's 23. Like, he is a young pup in this game. But
yeah,
no mistake. Like, he's an absolute savage, and I look forward to seeing him, get his time. But luckily, he's young, so these don't matter too much. But he should
just to mentally go through.
Yeah, he's just
the
going
excitement of these huge like promotions and fights that are announced, and to think this is my moment to shine, and then have it taken away over and over is got to be, quite demoralizing.
It's like camp after camp for him, but he'll get there, and his future's big. His future is big.
So yeah, it must be great to be in the gym with all those guys every day, though. Great for you.
Yeah, and then there's obviously the head coach, John Gillis, and his unbelievable. There's a reason that so many people and so many famous people come to pad with him and pick his brains, because he's unbelievable.
It is, and I'm just buzzing for this fight in particular, Jack. I think it kind of stands out on a card of, or 3 spectacular cards across 3 nights.
Yeah.
And I think it's one. There's a lot of fans of yours at MMA UK for sure. A lot of people that were excited for me to talk to you. So I know that you've got a hell of a lot of people behind you, willing you on for this one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my support in Grimsby and even beyond Grimsby is phenomenal, and I really appreciate it. But of course, like, I am a proper Grimbarian. I absolutely love where I'm from, and yeah, like that means the world to me that so many people actually wish me well in my own town. It's really overwhelming. Like I'm just I was just a young kid that loved to scrap, and now all of a sudden I've got loads of support. Like I never intended for it to be this way, and it is what it is. But it's brilliant and overwhelming at times. So yeah,
I've heard you talk about that before, and I actually love it when people who say that they got into trouble a little bit when they were kids, or could have gone down a different path. You're great role models for the kids coming through now, and there's no excuse for people to say they're bored and they've got nothing to do when they've got your combat academy down the road from them in Grimsby. Go along, do something positive, and I just can't speak highly enough about the benefits of martial arts, just across everything, for the mind, the body, discipline, everything.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, like my manager said it best to me once when I was a bit down and having a bit of a rough time. Like your life can change in a year. Do you know what I mean? Like you would never believe how much your life can change in just 1 year. So just always stay positive and look to find an outlet. Do you know what I mean? Because you might think that everything's all doom and gloom, but like it's just like I say, like I was really down, and then all of a sudden, like you've never seen such a turnaround in something, you know what I mean? So like it's like I'm super positive. I'm looking forward to things. I'm thinking about other things after this, and in and out the cage, and it's amazing. So just bear with it and look to find a focus.
Oh yeah, you couldn't say it any better than that. I totally agree with you. I'm going to let you go because I know you've got a busy fight week coming up, and
I know,
you're going to have so much stuff going on. But I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say any thank yous or thanks to sponsors. Oh, bless you. So, I wish you all the best for that.
Yeah, well, I'd just like to thank everyone from Four Corners. I'd like to thank my management, HD Management, Heavy Duty Fight Management. They're the guys that look after me. So Four Corners, John Gillis, Carl Messon, Heavy Duty Fight Management, and all my teammates, because without those guys, you're nothing. You need your friends. And I really appreciate it. And of course, Grimsby, I love you, as Yoel Romero would say.
I love you, bro.
I know, yeah. So I love Grimsby. I love Cleethorpes. That's my hometown, and we're bringing the world title back.
So everybody, make sure you've got your fight pass ready. This time next week, Jack Grant's going to be sitting there in his armchair with the belt on.
Absolutely. Skinny power.
Hashtag skinny power. Thanks so much, Jack.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate your time. Take care.
Have a great fight week.
Oh, thank you very much.